Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and in this video, we're going to get started talking about navigation and pages within Gatsby. There are two basic concepts that we're going to need to understand before we move forward. So let's get going on that right now. Okay, so in this video, all we're going to be doing is creating a new page and showing you how the page mechanism works. And that's as simple as just coming into your pages folder, creating a new file. Well, we'll just simply have a new page called about.js. Now, I have a React snippet library, so I can type RCC to create a new React component. If you don't have one of these, there's a whole host of them in VS Code. I recommend at least getting one. They probably all do about the same thing. And from here, we can just name our component anything. It doesn't really matter as long as it's the default export of this file. And we can just call this about. Now inside of here, we can go ahead and make an H1 just like we've had before on other pages and just say about us. Now I can have a paragraph tag here, and this can be filled with any sort of lorem ipsum sort of text. I've always been a huge fan of hipster ipsum, where you can find it on end is hipsum.com. I'll just grab a paragraph from hipster ipsum. It's basically just hipster version of lorem ipsum text. Okay. Love it. Love it. Okay. Now we can come back to our site and we can actually browse to the new /about page. Now you can see we have a heading with a paragraph down here. Now, one thing I want to do, since we're actually going to be building out some kind of a blog here, is give us a way to access this page. Now, I mentioned before in the last video that the /about page title or page comes directly from the file name inside of our pages folder. Let's go ahead and head to the header, which is the index.js component located in components header index. Okay. And inside of this component, you'll see we have a link, which is simply just an H1 linking back to /. Now, this is pretty cool. All of this stuff is cool. We will change some of this, but just below the last closing div, we're going to have a new nav. Now, if you're using Emmet, you can just hit nav tab and get a new nav. From here, we can have an unordered list with a couple of list items. But for now, we're going to keep it to just one list item. So I'm going to have UL greater than LI. I'm using Emmet to autocomplete that. Just to save a little bit of time inside of these list items, I'm going to have what's called a link. Now, link is going to be, well, you might think of it as similar to the React router link. In fact, if you'll notice up top here, what we're importing is link from Gatsby link. And you might be thinking, hey, link and the syntax link to a path is very similar to the React router. In fact, link is actually React router under the hood, just like Gatsby uses React router under the hood. So the link component here is going to feel very familiar if you've done any sort of React routing. So now we're going to say link to, and I'm simply just going to have a string /about. And the text inside of our link is simply just going to be about as well. Now this nav has no style, and that's okay. But we simply just want to go ahead and get our links up top here. So we have an about link, which is just conveniently blending into the purple color of this background. And instead of worrying about changing that right now, let's go ahead and actually create a new link in our links. What I want to do is, if you're using VS Code, you can hold Shift and Option with these lines selected and then hit up on the arrow key to copy all of these lines. And let's go ahead and just have a home link and link into / like this. Now next I want to actually head back to our index.js and I want to go ahead and remove this go to page 2 link. In addition to that, I'm going to delete the page-2.js from our pages file entirely, just so we don't have to have that sitting around. Okay, because we're not using it, right? Okay, so now we have a home page. We can click home, we can click about, and you can see this site's really fast. I mean, this is so brilliantly fast already. So this is one of these things that I love about Gatsby. Now, eventually we're going to be adding on to this list here, or we're going to have maybe like a blog post listing or a contact form or something like that. But right now we just have some basic static stuff going on here. So absolutely nothing crazy. Home, about, back and forth. That's all we've got. So these are pages within Gatsby. As you can see, it's as easy as just creating a new file and opening up that file. We kind of did that in the last video, but this time I wanted to actually, well, just start to build out our app a little bit. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. As we continue to go, this system is just going to get more and more complex in different ways, and we're still at the end of the day going to have a statically built site that runs faster than anything. So check it out. These are pages within Gatsby. As always, if you want to complete this series, head on over to leveluptutorials.com/pro and become a pro to subscribe to Level Up Pro. Get access to all of this and more. There's a ton of pro exclusive series up there right now, a lot of great stuff. Or you can purchase this series outright along with any of them if subscriptions aren't your thing. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.